Well, here we are, May 10th, 2025. You see, I have beaten 7 insane demons throughout my entire life in Trigonometry Dash. Each of them required skill, guts, and maybe a little luck to complete. But today, I've changed that. This level is known for the tight wave gameplay, along with everything else in this level. And of course its difficulty. I now present to you my completion of Sonicboom by Edelfq, my 8th insane demon completion. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start at the beginning. On May 10th, I was pretty bored and had nothing to do because my friend Caleb wasn't there. And I stumbled across a level by Edelfq called Sonicboom. So just to pass the time, I tried to beat the level. 17 minutes later, I had completed it. My fastest completion by far. And that wasn't even the end of it. The recorded attempt showed me beating the level in 10 minutes time, and in my third completion, I beat Sonicboom in just under 3 minutes. Somehow. Then I recorded myself beating VSC in under 7 minutes, which will be its own video, though you're probably wondering, what even is this level? Well, I'll start at the first of 6 checkpoints. I don't really have much to say on this part. It's pretty much 5 seconds long. The gameplay is good though, so that's a start. The second checkpoint is a big step up in difficulty, despite being twice as long as the beginning, which still isn't that much. That wave is hard, though at some point in time, it goes from Insane Demon to just Easy Demon. As if the creator was like, fuck this, just put some saws here and call it a day. Which brings us to here. The ball part. The round part. However you want to call it part. This part isn't as bad as I thought actually, but if you're wondering why I'm avoiding this specific corner here, I'll explain in a minute. But one word of advice, maybe don't go on the red pad, otherwise you'll probably just be launched into oblivion. After that, you find yourself at another wave part, which doesn't mean it's easy, but this checkpoint is also 5 seconds long, so there's one advantage. The second to last checkpoint isn't as forgiving, however. For starters, there's this platform which you would instinctively jump on, but I jump over it, along with the 2 spikes after it. After that, you go into the UFO section with pretty confusing gameplay. But I guess anything is better than Hellfire Reborn. That UFO was almost horrendous. Also, do you see why I'm dying here? Well, believe it or not, there's spikes down there! The problem with the ground spikes in this level is the fact that both the background and the ground spikes are pitch black, making it nearly impossible to be able to tell what kills you and what doesn't. In fact, this is the reason why I was avoiding that corner in the round part earlier, because there's spikes there too. So maybe think twice before going to play this level, or when making a level of your own. Otherwise, you could get the same unpleasant surprise. Other than this, the 5th checkpoint is pretty cool. Finally, we get to the last checkpoint of the level with the 6 cube jumps of hell. This one's boring, this one's boring, this one's weird, but these ones are probably the hardest. Allow me to briefly explain. You have to take a few steps back so you don't just die, then jump. Then you have to time this green orb so that you don't die to the spike in front of you, but you don't die to the spikes above you. Then once you click the green orb, you have to make sure you hold so that when you reach the blue pad, you take an extra jump, progressing on with the level. And of course, there's no better way to end a level than with more tight wave gameplay. better is that after all of that, you get to smell the sweet smell of victory for finally completing the level. Although there were some questionable decisions in Sonicboom, there are some aspects of this level that I did like. For example, how the entire level was balanced all the way through. That's not always something easy to pull off, but he did it. Do I recommend this level though? It certainly does seem like a low-end insane demon. And out of all the insane demons out there, this one is probably the best one to start with. But even so, like every insane demon, it took a lot of trials and suffering, but eventually, I did it.